Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me again today. And our project today is this card. It's a beautiful white on white card. Very simple little Christmas card. I posted it on my blog a couple of days ago and I've had so many requests from people saying, have you done a video? Have you done a video? That I thought I better put one. I wasn't going to do one because I thought it was such a simple little card to put together. But a lot of people have asked, so I thought I would just oblige. So we're going to make this card today. We're going to start off with my normal size card blank, which is 21 centimetres by 15 centimetres or 8 1/4 by 6 inches. And I'm going to bring in my trimmer so that we can score at 10.5 centimetres or 4 1/8 if you're working in Imperial. So, which is my score blade to cut. There we go. So we've scored that in the middle and can bend that over. That's the basis of my card. I'm going to bring in my bone folder just so that I get a nice crisp edge on that. And then I need two panels. Two panels that are this size. So these are going to sit on there. Okay. This panel is let me get this right, 10 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres, so it's just 1/2 centimetre smaller all the way round, and in inches it's 5 3/4 by 3 7/8. And I need another panel, although I don't need it quite so long, but you will need it exactly the same width, so you might as well cut it at the same time. So that needs to fit on there, and that's the one we're going to cut the die out of. But to start with, I'm going to do the background, and as you can see, I used the Snow is Falling embossing folder, which is lovely for something like this. It gives a very subtle effect on the back there. So I'm going to bring in my very, very old Big Shot. I have actually got a new one that I won in a raffle at one of our team days, but I'm putting off using it because this one is still going strong. And I don't think anyone would want to buy it, and I'm loath to throw it away while it's still working, so I just keep using it. Eventually I will upgrade to my nice new one, but this one works perfectly, and I think I've said before, I think I've had it for 12 years now, and it's still going strong. A long time before I knew anything about Stampin' Up. There we go. And oh, it's a bit stiff to get through there. There we go. So that's our panel to go on the back with the Snow is Falling. Put all my plates back in the right place. You may have a different configuration of plates with your Big Shot, because mine, like I say, mine is very, very old. So that's our background panel. So we just need to bring in some Tombow glue to glue our panel onto our card base. Silly me, hasn't got any Tombow glue out, so let's get some glue out. Okay, luckily I sit at my desk and I've got most things to hand here. There we go. So let's just put a little bit of glue around the edges of our panel and a little bit in the middle to glue it down. And oh, I dropped it. Oh, it's going for a ride. There we go. And that will go on there like so. Try and get all the sides even. Okay, now the next panel, so we had two panels like that, remember. The next panel is the one we're going to do the die cutting. I'm actually using the Hearts Come Home dies. I'll just show you the full set. It's these dies here. It's an absolutely beautiful set. So you get 3 rows of houses and churches and trees and things, then some little smaller ones which are quite sweet. You also get this lovely scalloped tag topper with a little heart for the hole. Can you see that? Put it on there, you can see it better. And then you get some little stars, a little panel that cuts out some little stars for the sky, which is beautiful. This is a really lovely set. It's called Hometown Greetings Edgelets. It's in the annual catalogue. I don't think it'll be carried over. It's been in the catalogue quite a while, so I don't think it'll be carried over for next year. So if you want to get it, you know what you need to do. So there we go. Right, so the one I'm using is the one with the church. I mean, what we need to do is position it. You can position it as close to the top as you like, because it's going to cut out and then we'll have all this bit down here. So try and centre it. I've got a nice bit of Christmassy washi tape here to help me stick it down. I might just get another bit as well. Oh, there's a spare bit. Try and keep bits and pieces. There we go, just to hold it in place while I cut. You can use your magnetic plate, of course you can. I tend to use washi tape. I have got a magnetic plate, don't tend to use it very much. There we go. I do occasionally when I really want to be very fastidious about placing things, but it's just another plate to have out, and I just can never bother to get it out, to be honest. There we go. So these dies cut really nicely, so they should, I'm hoping today they will. Yeah, that's cut beautifully. There we go. So I can get rid of the big shot now, thank goodness. Never think that makes very good filming, watching me do my big shot, but I just thought I would do the entire card from scratch today. So carefully take out your die, peel off the washi tape, which might become a bit more stuck down because we put pressure on it. Save those little bits over there. Oh, sorry, I just have to take these bits off or they will annoy me. So I just have to take them off. Bits that got stuck behind. I'll clean the dies, and little bits stuck in the die which I will clean out later. Meanwhile, I've got my panel here ready to put on my card, except we've got some bits in here as well, so we just need to get rid of all those bits. I'm going to bring in my tweezers and just poke them. You can use all sorts. You can use your pokey tool, you could use your brush. Just for ease, for what I've got handy, I'm just using my tweezers today. There we go. Lots of little, so if you're doing lots of these, I guess it would be a bit time consuming, but I'm only making one today, so I'm fine. And it's something you could cut out lots of die cuts and then sit in front of the telly doing it if you were going to make a load of these for your Christmas cards. There we go. All right, get rid of all the bits. Right, so we've got this panel now. Now obviously we don't need it that tall because it needs to come to there, but what I'm going to do before I cut it down to size, I am actually going to stamp my greeting. So I'm going to take my embossing buddy and swish that over here so that we get a nice clean surface with no sticky fingerprints for the stamp. And I'm actually going to use one of the stamps from the Hometown Hearts Come Home set, which coordinates with the die set that I've used today, and I'm going to use this one. Wishing you a beautiful season and a happy new year full of peace and happiness. So I'm going to take my stamp. I've got my Versamark that I've put a very little bit of smoky slate re-inker in, just so that I can see where I'm stamping, because I'm going to cover it with silver so it won't matter that it shows up, but just make sure that it is straight before I emboss it and waste things. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to hope that that is central and straight. It's very difficult when you're on camera because you can't get on top of things as you would normally. There we go. That's okay, good. Okay, so you can see it just gives a tiny bit of colour to it so that it doesn't, so that you can see what you're doing. Right, okay, I've given in, I've got my embossing powder in a big tub now, because I've seen so many people doing that and thought it was a lot easier than what I was doing. So, just take a bit of embossing powder. Stole some spoons from my local coffee shop the other day. Oh, beautiful, that's good. Make sure I've got enough on there. Excellent, that's looking good. Yeah, I like that. Haven't used that greeting before, but I quite like it. I've got particular friends in mind that this card is going to, so I know exactly who will appreciate this message. Right, and then I'm going to take my heat gun, just going to keep it away from the card for a minute while it heats up, because otherwise you're blowing cold air on your card and you might end up blowing some of the powder off. So until it's heated up, there we go, it's nice and warm now. And then just heat that. Wait till it turns. My fingers are getting warm. I have to hold it with tweezers. There we go. It's turning now. Can you see that? There we go. That's all done. That was really quick. Okay, so that is going to go, if I can find my card blank now, here it is, hidden under the stamp set. So that's going to go on here. So I just need to measure really where I want it to go. I want it quite down low, fairly low. So I'm going to mark it there, and I'm going to put a tiny pencil mark at the base here where I want to cut it. And then I'm going to bring in my trimmer and just trim it off there once again. So I want my pencil mark to be in the middle of the track here. So then that's the scoring blade, don't need that one. There we go. Beautiful. Very nice. It's a lovely greeting, that, actually. It's really nice. I love that font. Very nice. Very classic. And that's going to go on there. So all I'm going to do now is add a few little dimensionals. Now, although the dimensionals are quite small, we might need to cut some up to fit these tiny places, because you don't want anything to sag. So we can use some full ones. These are the mini dimensionals. Can use some full ones on the back here. And then when we come to do the buildings, I'm going to cut some up into pieces, because then they will go behind. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut through these ones. So I've got half dimensionals now. So a half one can go on a tree, another half one can go on a tree, half one can go behind the church, half one can go that side of the church. So I tend not to skimp on dimensionals because I don't want things to sag. Once they go through the post, they want to be robust enough to stand up. Right, I'm even going to have to cut one of these in half just to put a little tiny bit at the top of my church. I don't know why I'm using such big scissors. I've got lots of little, I've got paper snips, which would be better. And then just a couple on the house, I think, on the roof of the house. Oh, I'm getting quite croaky. I'm going to have a drink of water. Excuse me, I'm going to have a drink. That's better. Right, and then I'm going to take off all the backing from our dimensionals. So just talk amongst yourselves while I do this. This might take a while. If you're watching this on Friday the 7th, which is when I'm tending to publish it, you might want to nip over to look at the year-end closeout sale, which started on Wednesday, and some real bargains on there. Not this set, but actually I've done a post for today. I've done a post today about my favourites in the year-end closeout sale. The Christmas Traditions punch box, I think, is one of the best bargains there. They've knocked 40% off it, so it's something like £25. And for that you get a punch, you get a stamp set, you get a clear block, you get 2 stamp pads. So that's wonderful value for what you get in there. And of course you get the beautiful tin as well. So that's win-win. So if you were thinking about that, and make a lovely Christmas present for somebody. I wish someone would put that in my stocking. Doubt that will happen. Right, and then I've taken all the backing off, so I'm just going to place this directly over the other panel, and there you have it. There's our card. Beautiful white on white Christmas card, so easy to make, all Whisper White card. I've used our thicker card for the whole of it actually, but you could use the thinner card for these top 2 layers. I just happen to have more thicker card available, and certainly this panel would be fine with using the thinner one. This one you might want to use the thicker one because it needs to stand up. So those are my 2 cards with the 2 different sentiments. Hope you've enjoyed my project today. If you want to buy anything that I use to make the card, you can pop over to my shop. The link will be below. If you've liked this video and haven't seen me before, then you might like to subscribe. The button is below, and if you click the little bell as well, then you'll get an email notification every time I post a video. I don't tend to post every day. I try and post 2 videos a week. Sometimes I don't quite make it, but that's what I aim to do. So hope you've enjoyed that. I look forward to you joining me me again another time. Next project I think is going to be non-Christmas. Oh, what a revelation. I've been doing Christmas since August, so it's been quite nice to do something non-Christmassy. But for now, that's it from me. Bye for now, and I'll see you soon. Bye.